Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome to What's Up. Today's What's Up session is going to be Accelerate EV Charging with Sourcewell and ChargePoint. I'm Naz. I am a customer success manager on the team here at ChargePoint, and today I'm joined by Zach, who leads our grant and utility funding work. Today, we're going to focus on taking some of the headache out of EV charging procurement and what it should look like in practice with Sourcewell. We'll keep this pretty straightforward and practical. Quick look at what we'll cover today. We'll start with Sourcewell, and just to ground us in what it is and why organizations use it. Then we'll walk through what our contract includes and how it works. And then we'll bring it all together with how you should approach getting started. And then, of course, we'll leave time at the end for questions as well. But before we jump in, just a quick pulse check. Curious what's been the biggest challenge for you when it comes to EV charging procurement? Is it the RFP process, compliance, bandwidth, or vendor and pricing constraints? Go ahead and drop your answer in and we'll give it a moment here. Right, it looks like we've got some answers coming in. Thank you. That's really helpful. All right. Well, this is looking like it's starting to line up with exactly what we're seeing, which is good. That gives us a good baseline to work with. Let's see what the final results seem to be. Lengthy RFP process. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Zach, who will now walk through how organizations are approaching these decisions and where Sourcewell fits in. Zach?
Yeah, thank you, Nas, and thank you to the audience for taking the time to attend and for your interest in the webinar. My name is Zach Pettit. I'm one of ChargePoint's grants and utility funding managers. Today, I'll be providing an overview of Sourcewell, a cooperative purchasing agreement. But first, let's start with who Sourcewell may apply to. Sourcewell benefits entities who have procurement requirements when buying goods and services. These procurement requirements are in place to ensure that goods and services are considered and valued from a competitive process, yielding the best result. Procurement requirements are most often required by public agencies as a matter of using public funds, but also can apply or be leveraged by other entities such as nonprofits. When navigating a procurement process, agencies must essentially ask themselves two important questions. What should we purchase? And the second question, how should we purchase it, is the topic we are focusing on today. Of the options considered for that second question, public agencies can solicit a request for proposals or RFP, where vendors can respond with bids and procurement will select a bidder for that project. But that can be cumbersome and overly administrative to run a compliant solicitation for every project. On the other hand, agencies can take advantage of an established cooperative contract like Sourcewell to meet their procurement requirements. The Sourcewell contract is established by a government agency in the state of Minnesota that evaluates and selects proposals using an experienced and in-depth competitive process. While we're talking about the Sourcewell contract for EV charging specifically today, there are competitive contracts for many other commonly procured goods and services. If the Sourcewell contract and the process employed by them can meet an agency's procurement rules, the contract can be leveraged to procure electric vehicle supply equipment for a project. Entities who are eligible for Sourcewell include local and state government, U.S. military, K-12, higher ed, and nonprofits. Sourcewell is one of the most popular contracting vehicles in the nation. In fact, over 50,000 participants have been able to take advantage of this contract in 2025. Participating in Sourcewell requires no cost. And in fact, members can access the benefits of Sourcewell simply by registering. In 2025, Let me take a step back. Sourcewell is well known and recognized procurement mechanism for entities with procurement requirements, and this popularity is evidenced by the throughput of the contract. In 2025, $12 billion in contract sales were made through Sourcewell. The scope and impact of Sourcewell are significant, and cooperative purchasing is now one of the most common routes taken for public agencies, both in the US and Canada, for procuring goods and services that are trusted. Rightfully so, using funds that support the public or an agency's operations demand a competitive process. A competitive process results in vendors driving down their costs and putting forth their best value proposal. Sourcewell allows agencies to take advantage of a comprehensive and technical evaluation of EV charging solutions, and when agencies leverage the contract, they also receive those benefits. Key benefits of Sourcewell include credibility, the same level of transparency and rigor required by most procurement policies. The contract selects solution providers through a competitive process which incorporates cost advantages such as not to exceed pricing and discounts. For ChargePoint, that's particularly our hardware, software, and services. Sourcewell is importantly convenient. A free registration is all that's required for essentially a blanket purchase agreement, enabling projects to move faster, especially compared to the alternative running a unique solicitation for every single project. Lastly, Sourcewell is customizable, where agencies can add on to their unique terms and conditions to the existing Sourcewell contract. Recognizing the advantages of buying through Sourcewell, ChargePoint, our partners, and most importantly, our customers have been using the contract for years. The ease of cooperative purchasing continues to be an area of the market that we invest in. And I'm happy to announce that in January of 2025, we were awarded a new Sourcewell contract with master agreement number 021825-CPI. Which is a mouthful and may be harder to say than it is to participate in Sourcewell. The contract is set to expire in September 18th, 2029, so the availability of these benefits will be around for a very long time. Our old contract is ending this year, so we encourage those who use ChargePoint to leverage the new one. The financial benefits, of course, are one of the greatest value adds of using the contract. We have included discounts for ChargePoint solutions ranging anywhere from 5 to 25%. Whether it's ChargePoint hardware, warranty, or cloud, purchasing these solutions through Sourcewell will provide a discount. One of the more important features to highlight about the contracts, about ChargePoint's contract, is that all of our partners can also leverage Sourcewell. In the contract, we have built in the ability for our partners to offer the same discounted pricing. The contract was designed in line with our organization's strength of having a distributed network of partners that we call the channel. ChargePoint solutions are more often than not purchased through the channel, and customers can work directly with resellers and distributors that are ChargePoint certified to obtain Sourcewell pricing. Slide covers a little bit about ChargePoint. Since 2007, ChargePoint has been committed to making it easy for businesses and drivers to go electric. With over 20 years of experience, we have been a proven partner for public sector and commercial deployments. In fact, our customer base, while we serve many verticals and station owners, shows strong representation from the public sector. From project ideation to pinpointing and activation of the stations, we have a strong team with deep experience across planning, deployment, and operations. ChargePoint offers a suite of solutions end-to-end, from manufacturing the charging stations to intelligent software and a friendly user dashboard to maintenance and warranty. We have one of the largest EV charging networks and provide a comprehensive portfolio of charging solutions. Our portfolio includes AC and DC fast charging options for any EV charging deployment or use case. And importantly, chargers are designed for reliability, uptime, and scalability. With the ChargePoint software platform, you can monitor station status and usage in real time. Through that single dashboard, station owners can manage access, establish pricing policies or flex billing, and develop in-depth reports. The software also is cloud-based and updates are continuously made over the air. Finally, we offer services that support your entire electrification journey. Guidance on your project from early planning and site design through installation and go live. Ongoing tools and support teams are activated for operations, optimization, and scaling over time. Future proofing is incredibly important, and early planning is key to think through EV charging growth over time. As a full picture, we have the expertise that reduces risk, simplifies the more complex aspects of EV charging projects, and we can also support accelerating timeline for deployment, which is also one of the reasons why Sourcewell is a priority for the organization. Whether you're new to Sourcewell or already participating, we are looking forward to connecting with your organization. If you're new to Sourcewell, you can register for a Sourcewell account to get started. And if you're already a Sourcewell member, we're here to help start thinking through the project in partnership with your team and goals. You can get in touch with us through that contact sales button in the upper right hand of your screen. And that's all the content that I had to cover for Sourcewell. We will transition to the Q&A now. Ross, if you want to step on stage.
Thank you, Zach. That was great. That should give you a better sense of how to make your process feel a lot more manageable and how to move forward with confidence on your EV charging project. So from here, let's go ahead and open up that Q&A like Zach suggested. Anyone, looks like we have a few coming in here. What is the first one's going to be? Any trade-ins for the CT4000 or 6000? I believe the ChargePoint team touched on that in the Q&A itself. But again, we do have a link that showcases any promotions or opportunities available for you right now. And then next up, we already have chargers from ChargePoint from a previous contract with ChargePoint. We are looking for just a service contract, and is that available? Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, but we are able to work with other manufacturer hardware. We have a list of compliant stations that we work with, and if that is something you're interested in, we can absolutely take a look at your specific station model and see if it is one of the compatible models that we have.
Yeah, that's right, Nas. I will say though that the Sourcewell contract, the old Sourcewell contract, is sunsetting in June this year. So that contract will expire, but the new contract is, like I mentioned earlier, available through 2029 and has even deeper discounts as well than the prior contract. So transitioning that contract will be important. And we also offer everything that ChargePoint has in our product list and our portfolio through Sourcewell. Our team actually updates the price list as well on the back end. So whether it's Assure for the warranty and services, repair the stations, cloud maintenance, and hardware stations, whether it's CT4K or CP6K, CP80, CP280, 250s, and Express Plus, all of those products from our portfolio are included in Sourcewell.
Wow, that's fantastic. Along those lines, Zach, maybe you can help field this one as well. We already have 5 stations. How do we get any discount?
If the stations are already installed, it's really at the time of purchase when the discount is applied. So unfortunately, that sounds like maybe that opportunity to take advantage of the Sourcewell discount has already passed, but certainly for any future projects, happy to be engaged and work through Sourcewell with whomever that customer may be.
All right, fantastic. We have another question. Boy, they're really starting to come in here. This is great, Zach. So the next question we have on deck is, if a vendor or supplier is not on the supplier list for Sourcewell, is there still a possibility they may be added?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the way we've written our contract is resellers and distributors that are ChargePoint certified can offer those Sourcewell discounts ranging from 5 to 25%. But if there is a specific installer, a municipality or other form of public agency wants to use, they can still use that installer, just as long as somewhere within the procurement process, a certified reseller or distributor is offering those prices. So say you have a local electrician who's not ChargePoint certified, but they buy their equipment from Eaton, for example, one of our strongest partners in the industry. Eaton would be able to offer that Sourcewell pricing and then pass that down to the end customer. So as long as somewhere within that process of procurement, a reseller or distributor is involved, those discounts can apply.
Great. And then let's be looking at the next one here. It looks like another early question in the process. Does ChargePoint Sourcewell contract allow customers to avoid sending the installation portion of a project out to bid for a complete project, i.e. hardware, software, and installation? I think we see this one quite a bit. Zach, I'll let you go ahead and address that one.
We certainly do. Yeah. And I had just had a conversation with the Sourcewell folks a couple of weeks ago just to nail down and clarify that answer. So ultimately, it will be up to the procurement agency's policies if installation can be included as part of Sourcewell. Within our contract, the way that we've set up and the way that our organization is set up is installers can bid installation and have that included as part of the competitive process. There's no discounts associated with that, but the installation portion can be considered as part of leveraging Sourcewell. And a lot of our partners do a lot of that work as well. So that's kind of the unique aspect of our contract and how we work with our partners as well. They can do the installation piece of a project. And if the procurement agency's rules align with how we've put forth that bid in Sourcewell, it should work out. Great.
All right, so it looks like we've got someone that's already begun the process and may want to take advantage of Sourcewell. Zach, they're asking, we're a public school in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I'm interested in working with Sourcewell to install our first EV station at GB Southwest High School. Our electrical infrastructure is excellent with a short run to a large panel source. What's the first step?
Yeah. Thanks, Nas, and great to hear concrete projects that are already about to get in the ground and could potentially leverage this. Connect with sales is probably my first recommendation. We have a team of folks that know Sourcewell back to front. Really just registering as an organization will be the first step. And then from there, if you're able to get a quote with ChargePoint Sourcewell contract number on the quote and ensure that those discounts are applied from MSRP, which typically comes from validating with either a reseller, distributor, or ChargePoint ourselves, we can make sure those prices are included in the procurement.
That's great. And I work very closely with the team in your area, sir. So I do have your information documented on the side, and I will be reaching out to your account team so that we can follow up and see if we can get Sourcewell added to that project for you. It looks like an exciting one. Now, our next question coming in is from California rather than Wisconsin, Zach. And this question is simply, can this help with purchasing for a state of California projects? And I'll let you add some context here, but I'm going to go ahead and say absolutely it can, Zach.
Yeah, definitely. Sourcewell can be leveraged anywhere in North America, both the US and Canada, and also in California, which is the state that I'm hailing from. So yeah, as long as you're registered and the public agency is eligible to participate in Sourcewell, you can take advantage of those benefits.
All right. And this question coming up, boy, Zach, we've really sparked a lot of interest here. Does the Sourcewell contracting cover construction work? The necessary parking for lot grading to meet minimum accessible spot requirements?
Yeah, so this question is...
Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, this question is very similar to the one that we answered earlier with the installation piece. So no discounts associated with installation, but if the procurement agency is able to satisfy, or excuse me, if Sourcewell is able to satisfy the procurement agency's policies, construction can be included as the mechanism to ensure that installation doesn't go out to bid, but it'll just have to be coming through my ChargePoint reseller, distributor, and abide by the procurement agency's policies.
Great. Well, it looks like we're going from state to state now. Zach, we've got this next one coming in from Norwich, Connecticut. We're building 6 new schools. The state requires EV stations in the building plans. I know how Sourcewell works. Does this contract have a vendor identified to operate in the system?
Yeah. So when there's procurement policies, typically for like grants or utility incentives, anything that's required by the state is typically not allowed to be, take advantage of government grants and incentives. But Sourcewell is different. So Sourcewell can still apply to those projects. As it relates to the question on a particular vendor within that region that can use Sourcewell, ChargePoint's contract is nationwide, and really connecting with a partner of ours will be the best way to ensure that you're getting those contract benefits. So reaching out to contact sales, getting established within our system. We have a whole team of channel account managers, partner account managers, and the inside sales team that can route you and connect you with someone local to help your project. And all of those partners are well informed of the Sourcewell process and what it takes to work with those agencies for compliant procurement.
Great. And along those lines, Zach, I think you sort of alluded to this answer in your last response, but if a vendor or supplier is not listed for Sourcewell, is there still the possibility they may be added?
Yes. We do take in partners who want to be a ChargePoint certified reseller and installer. They can certainly apply at any time for being involved in ChargePoint's channel program. It's not necessarily required as long as there's a reseller or distributor somewhere along the quoting process. But if there's a partner that wants to become ChargePoint certified, we would welcome that opportunity, and that really ensures the best installation as well. A lot of the training that's involved with being a channel partner includes understanding our equipment and how it mounts to the ground and how the conduits are installed, and many technical things that I can't speak as an installer, but that's a great opportunity. And if there's a particular partner that wants to get involved with ChargePoint in our channel program, we would certainly welcome that and encourage it.
That's great. In fact, I think that really showcases something that ChargePoint brings that many of our competitors don't, is that we really are a team of specialists here to help each one of our clients. Right, as you mentioned, we have channel account managers, partner account managers, we have the account executives. We literally have a whole support system here for you for projects, whether they're Sourcewell or not. We're always going to walk you through the process, the project from start to finish. And of course, the next question is similar, stating, does ChargePoint Sourcewell contract allow customers to avoid sending the installation portion of a project out to bid for a complete project?
It'll be up to the procuring agency if that's possible. Again, we've written into our contract that installation is one of the value adds that we provide to the industry, and we have been selected. So installation can be included as Sourcewell, but it will ultimately be up to the agency that's buying the goods and services.
Great. And it does look like we're getting close to the end, so we'll try and grab a couple more of these questions before we wrap things up. And along those contract lines, Zach, we have one more question that says, can we get to Sourcewell contract prices for cloud through ChargePoint, or do we have to buy through an approved vendor? So I think that's really dependent on the project itself, Zach, but I'll let you go ahead and provide some more of your expertise there.
Yeah, ChargePoint ourselves, we are happy to provide pricing. And in fact, if you even go through our, go to our Sourcewell landing page, ChargePoint Sourcewell contract landing page, you can see discounts that say 5 to 25%. But if you reach out further, the Sourcewell team will actually send you the discount table and give you more exact numbers. So you can either, there's a couple of options. You can reach out to Sourcewell, you can reach out directly to us, and we're happy to share what those discounts to the cloud plans are, which are 5%. And that 5% discount applied to MSRP, and that's not to exceed pricing. And of course, you could always reach out to a reseller or distributor, and they can also help. So many avenues of support for Sourcewell.
Perfect. Well, as I said, we do have a few more questions, but we're also coming up on time. So we will make sure to reach out with answers to those questions we weren't able to address today. And again, just a quick reminder before we wrap up, if you're looking for any additional resources, including a link to Sourcewell, you should find those all listed under that Docs tab to the right of your screen. And if you're ready to take that next step, you can use the Contact Sales button to connect with our team. Thanks again for joining us today, everyone. We really appreciate your time. Well, let's keep charging together, shall we? Enjoy the rest of your day.